All right, everybody. I think we'll start now. Everyone's ready? All right, so first of all, thank you, everybody, for coming to this memorial for my squirrel. As a very quick introduction, I'll go through a very quick group share session where I'll start off talking about my squirrel. And then if anyone else wants to share about a special animal in their lives, you'll be welcome to do that. Afterwards, we'll go outside, we'll do a fire of transformation, we'll make some s'mores, and Gashi will be in charge of that fire, so he's going to help us make that fire. And then, if you want, some music, some dance. Daryl brought clarinet, I have one too, so we'll have some instruments out there. We'll do a group picture, and then also I have a bunch of black sunflower seeds and peanuts. Anil brought some acorns. And we'll do like a huge feast for the animals in my backyard. And so we'll offer that to them. And that will be today's little event. So as a very quick introduction, even before I decided to organize this memorial for my squirrel, and she passed away on October 4th. I think she was hit by a car, very sadly. And one of the questions was, is doing a memorial for a squirrel somewhat silly? And I think there are probably a lot of people who would think so, and that's a valid thought. For me, though, the reason why I think doing a memorial for my precious friend the squirrel is valuable, has purpose, has meaning, is because it allows me to be deliberate, to be thoughtful, to connect to my emotions. As little as this little creature was, she affected my emotions. We had adventures. She was a connection to the backyard. And when she passed away, she made me think about loss and spirituality. And so I feel like one should be true with their emotions. If you feel lost, with community, you share it, and it brings us all closer together. So that's why I'm doing this memorial in honor of my friend. Okay, so also, when I posted this on Facebook, it was kind of interesting because this post went a little bit viral. It got 1,000, likes. What's that? There are 200 comments and only 2 were kind of negative. So, and that's the squirrel does pee-pee and caca, Kashi. That is a good reminder. So the way I met this friend of mine was that it was in the summer of COVID, and a lot of us were spending time in our homes. I was in my backyard quite a bit, and at first we were not friends. We were rivals. We were almost like enemies because she would jump up on this gutter, and there are other squirrels that were friendly. They would not go up to the bird feeder. She was the only one who figured out how to shimmy up this gutter and jump right onto that window and then eat all those bird seeds. And my mother and I would get a little bit irritated that she would raid my bird feeder. So I put all these different obstacles to prevent her from getting there. And every single time she would outsmart me. And I was like, oh my goodness, this squirrel is so intelligent. Then one day I was sitting out there during COVID. It was in the summertime. And she just jumps up on the bird feeder, and I walk up and I'm looking at her, and she looks at me, and then she continues to eat these seeds. And I was like, she is so brave. So I began to admire her, and I started giving her peanuts, and that was the start of our friendship. And so before I go on to the lessons, which are just a few, I want to show a few quick videos of her, and then that will be pretty much it. So the first thing is, before even I met her, the culture in my the culture in the house was to be friendly with these squirrels. So what I'm going to show you is not the main squirrel. Let me just exit this. Okay, and then go to squirrel. And so this is a different squirrel, but it just shows you that we were kind of friendly with these squirrels.
Same way, right? What is he thinking, भैया? क्या सोच रहा हो तू? इसके साथ खेलोगे क्या? भैया क्या है?
Okay, so that was an example of the culture that we had. And then my squirrel came, and those squirrels would come and go, but this squirrel stayed for like the full 5 years that I knew her. And this is what she would do. She would get up on the bird feeder and she would eat. And you can see she's pretty cute here. And this is when she was, quite young. And then we start giving peanuts to her, like throwing her out peanuts out the window and stuff. And let me just fast forward this because it's very cute. Okay, Kashi's gonna say.
Should we give her one more, Kashi? Oh, she's gonna get infinite peanuts now. Here you go, Kashi. Yeah, she's hiding in different places. Oh, Kashi's waiting.
And then there she goes. She gets her peanuts. So very, very cute. And then she got closer and closer. So I would give her peanuts, and she would take it. And then you can kind of see. I would call to her. I'd be like, "Good morning," and
Come here. Good morning.
and she'd walk over, and she'd stand up on her hind legs, and so it was very cute. And okay, and then just a month or two ago, you could see how brave she was, because now she didn't, she knew me, and she would just hang on the screen, and it was very cute. And you could see how close you could even go and go. Oh hey, come on in.
Hello.
Hey, what's up? Come on
How are
in.
you?
Good. I'm doing a small presentation on my squirrel, but come have a seat.
Come.
Yeah.
It's fine.
come on in.
Shoes off?
That'd be great. Thank you. You could see that I could.
Yes.
And then the squirrel was quite the catch, because this was 2 years ago. I'd never seen this before, but all the squirrels of the yard would come, and here you can see there are almost 10 squirrels, and the whole day from early morning to night she was running. She was so athletic, and none of these guys could catch her. So quite the amazing squirrel.
And somehow she got pregnant.
And somehow she got pregnant, that's right. A few times.
Yeah. Good timing.
And so then, here you can't see necessarily her personality. So the next 1 or 2 videos I'll show you, you'll see her unique personality. It was very cool. Like, I would be doing woodworking in the backyard, and she would come and they do splooting, which is where they go completely flat with their stomach on the ground to cool off. And it was just a sweet moment where I'm like woodworking and she's chilling. But this one was my most favorite thing. This just happened like maybe 2-3 months ago. And yeah, she was pregnant, she was nursing, so she was very hungry. And what ended up happening was that she cut a hole through the screen and jumped inside the house. And now is eating all these peanuts. And you'll see, because she goes in between like a little bit of panicking because I'm standing right there. And then she goes and goes back into like eating her peanut mode. And I don't know, it's worth just seeing a second of it because it's kind of funny.
Did you name her?
I did name her because it was interesting. I named my pet rats, but she wasn't a pet. She was like a friend of the wilderness.
Yeah.
And so I never named her.
I was asking.
Yeah.
I was just like, I need to know if she had a name.
If she had a name, yeah. I guess I never named her because she belonged to the outdoors, and so.
And everything is there.
And mother's seeing this for the first time. She heard about the story.
Oh my goodness, that's where.
I think I welcome her to the house too.
Where did she come in?
That window, there's like a little
There
hole.
is a hole right there.
She's panicking a little bit.
Welcome. This is my house. Mother's house. Nelly's house.
Okay, and then I'll just show you 1 or 2 more. And then the adventure continues here.
When was that video taken?
Just like 2 months
That
ago.
was 2 months ago.
Yeah.
You're just gonna get the Clorox out in a minute.
She fell.
She fell, I know, the plastic. She did,
She went.
and watch, it's gonna get pretty wild in just a second. And then I'll share.
Oh yeah.
They're trying to get out. Yeah.
Yeah, now she's like, uh-oh, how do I get back to my kids?
Just relax. Just
Ah,
relax.
no.
Just relax. Okay? Just relax.
Put to the left.
Don't you know the difference between right and left?
No, she hasn't seen this. Take a look at what she does in just a second, and I'll.
Oh.
Yikes.
Okay, just one or two more videos, and okay, good to see you. I'm just finishing this presentation, and then she leaves the house, and then
She make it out?
she made it out, and then she did a victory thing. Let me just show you because it's a lot of fun.
You're the one who came in.
And then take a look. She's making a little noise and flicking her tail. So.
Don't be angry at me.
Okay, so, and then the final thing is her legacy. Like, her last father of her children, she showed him how to get peanuts from me. And so this is the father now. So after she left, it was kind of lonely for a while, but eventually the father came, and now a new relationship perhaps is starting. So that is just adventures with her. I'll finish off with just one or two lessons I learned. And then we can open it up if anyone wants to share things that they've experienced with their animals. So the first lesson that I learned is that sometimes negative frustration, which was really that she was stealing bird food from us and I was getting irritated, eventually that seed of negativity turned into a tree of positivity. And so that was something like very beautiful as I reminisced about it. That there's sometimes fertility and frustration. The pot that she broke was this pot over here. And for a separate project I was doing for my grandmother, I was doing this art called kintsugi, which is a Japanese art form where they take broken pottery and then they use a special tree sap to bring it together, and often they'll put gold in between.
I was gonna say gold.
Yeah, I like the tree sap, but the idea here is that even from the negativity of something breaking, you can get much more beauty once you try to bring it together. Instead of just throwing it away, maybe think about things in a different way. So that was a philosophy that I liked. And sometimes I think that some of us, not all, because the world is a very difficult place, but some of us have the building blocks of heaven all around us. And maybe the way to unlock it or to be worthy of it is to use love and devotion to find from negativity something that's positive, and then you get that building block. She was a portal into a world I couldn't see before. She's a wild animal, and yet we made this friendship. And she was an adult when we made a friendship, so it wasn't like I trained her as a child. So it's a sacred connection to the wilderness in my backyard. And every day for 5 years I gave her peanuts. And so it was like a ritual or a prayer or what, some of the Hindu rituals are called puja. And I remember talking to my grandmother, like some of these pujas to me didn't really make sense, but like what they do is maybe they'll wash it or they're offered food or do fire. But what my grandmother told me was that what you're supposed to be doing in that process is be awakening a genuine spiritual emotion during that puja. Then you don't even need the puja. Then you can just directly dip into this spiritual river. And so for me, this practice of caretaking was interacting with this squirrel, and so in that way it deepened, I feel like, my being in the present moment and my spiritual practice. Nature is beautiful, but it's also really kind of ugly sometimes. It's brutal. There's a lot of death in it as there is life. And so her death taught me to cherish the moment. And I knew this logically, but emotionally when you lose something, then you're like, oh no, I really have to cherish every one of these moments. You never know when the moment will end. And so it reminded me to emotionally cherish every single moment, and that in each of these moments, such as this beautiful moment I'm having with all of you, we find a whole universe of sacredness and beauty. These are philosophies too that I got from my mother in discussions with her. When the time comes for the moment to end, you let it go without attachment, but you still have spiritual love for it. And so that was something that was valuable, from a perspective of philosophy. And then I conclude with how do we live a good life? And actually this was a discussion I had with Gashi, my nephew, just a few days ago. So my sister, I taught him about the third eye, and then we were talking about it. And I was like, it's not like an actual eye. And then Gashi was like, well, it's an eye of ideas. And I was like, that's true. And the idea behind this eye is that if it opens, you can see in every moment truth, beauty, what some people may call God. And if you can then begin to see this in everybody, a small creature like a squirrel, your friends, the separation between them and us begins to become smaller. And our circle of love can get larger and larger. And so that's also why I want to give my grateful thank you, like all of you assembled here, my sacred, cherished soul community, to just be like, okay, I'll listen to this guy's memorial for a squirrel. But the beautiful thing is we all came together, and now we're going to hang out and make a fire together. So that was the beautiful thing. That's my presentation. Thank you.